If it feels like every single AI tool you use just got a massive, almost overnight upgrade, well, you're not imagining it. We are right in the middle of a huge shift in creative technology. So in this explainer, we're going to cut through all the noise and show you exactly what's happening and, more importantly, what it all means for you.
Here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll talk about why everything in AI is moving so incredibly fast. Then we'll look at the giant leap forward in AI video, the move to AI that can actually reason, and how you can create your own digital twin. From there, we'll get real about the challenges and then wrap it all up with what this new creative reality looks like for us.
So let's just address the feeling in the room, right? The pace of AI right now can feel, well, pretty overwhelming. But this period isn't just fast, it's incredibly significant. We're seeing all these breakthroughs happen at once, and they're completely changing the game.
I mean, does it feel like there's a groundbreaking new AI model announced every single week? Yeah, it's not just you. That rapid-fire news cycle is a direct result of the insane acceleration that we're seeing across the entire industry.
Just look at this timeline to see how fast things are really moving. In late 2024, we got text to avatar. Okay, cool. But then by early 2025, Kling 1.6 and OpenAI Sora just completely changed AI video. And then in March alone, just 1 month, Google drops Gemini 2.5 Pro and ChatGPT upgrades its image generation to GPT-4o. It's truly an unprecedented sprint of innovation.
All right, so one of the most visible, most obvious places we're seeing this upgrade is in AI video. It's really not just a gimmick anymore. The recent leaps have pushed it from kind of clunky and weird to something that's genuinely polished and has cinematic quality. And to really see this jump, all you have to do is compare Kling AI's version 1.5 with the new 1.6. I mean, it is a night and day difference. The older model, the motion was inconsistent, the visuals were kind of basic. But 1.6 delivers this smooth, dynamic movement and really polished, realistic scenes. Put simply, it just gets what you're asking for in the prompt.
And we're not just talking about simple commands anymore. Models like OpenAI's Sora can now handle these incredibly complex, really imaginative prompts. I mean, look at this example. It's not just asking for a spaceman. It's asking for a specific age, a totally unique helmet, a location, a cinematic style, and the model can actually deliver that vision. It's wild.
And this massive leap in quality, it's happening absolutely everywhere. ChatGPT just swapped out its old image generator for the much more powerful GPT-4o. So what's the result? Well, you get more complex scenes, characters that actually look the same from one image to the next, and text that you can actually read. That's a huge step up.
Okay, this brings us to a really, really important point. The biggest shift that's happening right now isn't just that AI is getting better at making stuff, it's that AI is actually starting to think its way through problems. We're moving from just generating content to genuine reasoning.
So, what do we actually mean by reasoning? Well, it's the AI's ability to go beyond just recognizing patterns. It's about analyzing information, understanding context, and making smart decisions. Kind of like a person would. It's the difference between a parrot that just repeats words and a problem solver that actually thinks.
And the best example of this right now is Google's Gemini 2.5 Pro. Google themselves even calls it a thinking model. It was built from the ground up to reason through its thoughts before it gives you an answer. And that gives it this huge advantage in really complex stuff like coding, advanced math, and science.
And you can really see its power in the data. On this benchmark that's designed to test the absolute limits of knowledge and reasoning, Gemini 2.5 Pro just blows the competition away. Now, a score of almost 19% might not sound that high, but it's more than double its closest rivals. In the world of AI, that's a massive lead in reasoning ability.
All right, so let's shift gears and talk about how all this incredible power is becoming super personal and accessible. We're not just using generic tools anymore. We're starting to create AI that looks, sounds, and can even act just like us.
And platforms like HeyGen have made this way easier than you'd think. You've basically got 3 main ways to create your own digital twin. For the absolute most realistic result, you upload a 2-minute video. But you can also make a fantastic avatar with just a handful of photos. Or you can even generate a totally new person from scratch, just by describing them in text.
The big takeaway here is that you are in the driver's seat. And to give you even more control, here's a little pro tip from HeyGen themselves. A really strong prompt has 4 parts. You define the image type, the main subject, the background, and the composition style. If you follow that structure, you get an amazing amount of control over what comes out.
Okay,
This all sounds pretty amazing, right? But it's not some perfect utopia. With all this great power comes, well, a whole lot of friction. These new tools are creating some very real challenges, both practical and cultural, that we really need to talk about.
So on a practical level, creators are hitting some real roadblocks. There's the risk of avatars just feeling a little robotic, the tech can be glitchy, and of course there's the fear of the market just getting flooded with similar-looking content. And that's before you even get to the big ethical questions about transparency or whether those high subscription costs are really worth it.
And that brings us to the cultural debate, which, boy, is it intense. On one side, you have this really strong feeling that AI is killing art. This comes from a deep-seated fear that this technology just devalues all the human skill and creativity that goes into making real art.
But then, on the very same forum, you'll find the complete opposite view. You have tons of creators saying, yes, please, train the AI on my work. They don't see it as a threat at all. They see it as a new tool for collaboration, an extension of their own creative vision. And that right there perfectly shows you the deep divide in the community.
So, with all that said, where does this leave us? We've seen this incredible leap in quality, the dawn of AI that can reason, and the personal power of digital twins. But also the real-world challenges. Let's zoom back out and figure out how to navigate this new creative reality.
Well, the practical shift is just profound. The old way meant juggling a bunch of different, expensive, super technical apps. The new workflow? It's becoming an all-in-one AI ecosystem, controlled by plain English, often for just a single subscription. It's a massive change in both how accessible this stuff is and how efficient you can be.
So when you boil it all down, what we're living through isn't just another software update. It's a foundational change. The barrier between having an idea in your head and bringing that idea to life is getting thinner and thinner every single day. Which, of course, leaves us with the big question. Does this all-in-one, hyper-intelligent, creative partner signal the end of human creativity as we know it? Or is this just the beginning of its next and maybe most exciting chapter? The debate is open. And now, the tools are in your hands.